So this is my first sit-down video. I actually wanted to go over 6 common misconceptions about being a stay-at-home mom. So the first common misconception that I would like to go over is that it's easy. So a lot of people seem to think that being a stay-at-home mom is easy. Oftentimes we'll hear things like, it must be nice to be able to lounge around the house all day, or it must be nice to Netflix and chill with the kids all day every day. Being a stay-at-home mom can actually be really stressful and really exhausting. There will be days when things go great, when the kids will just be content to play and they'll mind and just do their own thing and be cool and cute and awesome. But then there are other days when kids will scream and throw tantrums and it will last all day. It's not easy to console little kids or even older children, as we all know since we're all teenagers. So another common misconception that I would like to go over is that it's boring. No, it is not boring. If you can think back to your childhood, most likely you were always keeping somebody on their toes, because Lord knows I was. Another common misconception is that stay-at-home moms don't need breaks. A lot of people think that because we stay at home all day that we can just do whatever we want and we can relax and have a plethora of time to ourselves, which is actually so not true. It is really difficult to get things done when you're watching a tiny child, because if you've ever been in the same room with a tiny child for more than half an hour, you will find out that they will be going and getting into everything. If you do not have constant supervision on them, they will go to their wall socket and put a knife in it or stick their finger in it, or they will chew on cords, or they'll swallow a penny. I mean, you really have to keep an eye on your kids or disaster will ensue. So yes, when our partners get home, yes, we do long for that 10-20 minutes to ourselves where we can go take a hot shower, or we can read a book, or whatever your favorite activity is. We do need breaks and we do need that time to ourselves, because when you think about it, the average working person does get these little breaks, though it may not seem like it because, you know, we've gotten used to it. The average working person gets a lunch break, and the average working person usually commutes, so they have this time to sit down and think about things, whereas a mom is always go, go, go. Like, we do not have time to sit down and contemplate our thoughts and eat a hot meal. That's just not something that happens to us very often, and a lot of people don't think about this stuff. A lot of people that don't stay at home with the kids don't really think about these things. Another common misconception is that the working parent will come home and think that they don't have to pull their weight or they don't have to do anything to help out. A lot of people think they can come home from work and kick off their shoes and watch a movie or whatever, and yeah, you can definitely do that, but as a family, you should be conscious of what needs to be done still. You should be conscious of what your partner's been going through all day. We should really take the time to try and step into the other person's shoes. I mean, yeah, I understand what it's like to work and come home and be exhausted, but you also have to try to understand what it's like to be at home with a screaming child all day and try to get things done, and it could just be one of those days when you've tried to get things done and you've got nothing done. I mean, that happens too, and so we really need to take into consideration each other's frustrations and work together. My camera died! Anyway. So another common misconception, and probably one of the most frustrating, is the idea that stay-at-home moms don't need any kind of financial independence. While we don't bring any of the money into the household, we do pull our weight by taking care of the kids and raising them correctly, by cleaning the house, by making sure that the working partner comes home to a stress-free environment. That is a lot of work. Like I said before, it's a 24/7 job, and it is severely underappreciated. And so we shouldn't feel like it's a burden to ask for a little bit of money for ourselves sometimes, or we shouldn't feel terrible for asking for money that we need to buy things that are essential, like, you know, the food, the groceries, whatever it is. I mean, a lot of partners don't want their significant others to go shopping by themselves because they are not financially trusting of the other person, and that is not healthy and it is not correct in any way. And the last common misconception is that stay-at-home moms don't give a flip about working or returning to work. That is also completely untrue, because most stay-at-home moms that I've ever known do plan on returning to work someday. We just want to spend the first few years with the kid, or until they go to school, until they're school age. After that, most of us plan to go to work, or probably even sooner than that. I mean, considering your situation. Me personally, I will be returning to work way before that. I would like to be able to stay home with my baby until he can go to kindergarten or preschool, but that's just not possible for me and our household given our financial situation. So yes, most of us do plan on going to work. We do want to cultivate ourselves in the workplace. We just want to spend time with our kids while they're young. This time passes quickly. My oldest son is 6 years old now, and it's just crazy how fast time passes. So to wrap it all up, it is an absolute blessing on earth to be a mother, and I love it more than anything in the world. And it is very rewarding, but it is the most underappreciated job, and a lot of people think that these things are true, but in reality, once you put the shoes on, it fits a little differently than you thought. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you have any suggestions as to content that you would like to see in the future from me, I would love to see those in the comments below. Bye.